Hey, this is Adam with Tied to Nature. Update for you week ending February 12th. It's been a great week. I spent 3 days in the Canyon area and I spent 2 days at Old Faithful. So my weekly update's a 5 day update, and some of it comes from me, some of it comes from people that have seen things or things that I know going on. I always start these updates with it seems like a wolf and a bobcat update because those are two very popular things people are coming in the winter to try and see and photograph. Wolves, nothing in the interior that I've heard of. Some great things going on up north right now on the northern side of the park. I've had some friends get some great images and videos from the Wapiti Lake Pack the last couple of days. Bobcat, I've heard of a couple sightings, very brief. Seems like it's very skittish. Let's start with this image that you see up on the screen. Not a great image, but it's awesome because the amount of bison there. This is along the Gibbon River, just across from Terrace Hot Springs. And, usually we have this type of thing going on along the Madison. There's been a lot of them through the geyser basins this week, which has been really nice the whole day. So we go to Old Faithful, a lot of bison. It was nice to have these along the Gibbon. Once you get off that Madison, you turn at Madison Junction, if it wasn't for these bison, we weren't seeing a whole lot going towards Canyon this week. Once you get out to Hayden Valley, just a few bison, kind of the big males off by themselves. So lots of bison. We're seeing them every day. And this is right there, that Terrace Spring too. And this is that runoff channel. It was nice. This bison, there's a few of them just sitting there on kind of the edge where the water runs out. You get a little steam. So I enjoyed that. And I always liked a bison or any animal for that matter in the geyser basins and those thermal areas. And the winter, it's especially neat. I threw some landscapes in here this week. I wanted to share some of the landscapes. And again, nothing terrific. I spent some days at Canyon and then of course Old Faithful, and with the wind and the snow, and nothing that just seems promising to share. I'm going to keep on trying to get some landscapes. But what we're looking at here is the Firehole Cascade. So this is right where the Firehole, kind of the first time that you see the Firehole River as you're headed towards Old Faithful. This is the Cascades that make their way down through the canyon. You can barely see this one. This was fun. Right at Biscuit Basin, two big bulls were coming through, and again that steam. This bull just about disappeared in that steam, and it was just a neat. And there was actually two of them, and they were sparring for a little bit, and that's always fun. That people get excited that they're fighting, and it's not so much fighting. It's just kind of a little more playful. Getting the steam there. I threw some black and whites in here this week. Tell me what you think of them. I've been playing around with some black and whites because I've had some neat scenes, but it just didn't speak to me in color. And I thought they turned out better in black and white. And this was nice. Again, they're on the ridge, and what you see kind of with this steam out in front of them, that is from Calypstra geyser going off. So these bison were heading into the Fountain Paint Pot Trail. So we kind of left just in time to walk that. These bison started to make their way through. Another bison, a big bull. This is a 2,000-pound animal. And I was actually listening to one of the bison biologists, I believe it was Jeremiah, that was mentioning that these guys can get up to 2,500 pounds in the park. So, and this is one of those big guys. He's right in the Madison River. Just about at Riverside Drive. Some of these bison moved along that area of the river this last week. So that one, and the next image here, same bison. And tell me what you think. I think I like this one a little better, but just playing around with the black and white, just the color didn't mesh well, I didn't think. So went black and white, and I thought they turned out pretty nice. This here, I know you can barely see it. Any guesses So it's a pine marten. And this was today. This was really nice to see the pine marten. And it was at Madison Junction when it first came up. I was dropping some people off of the restroom, and I can see that Nicole, the ranger there, was, I think she was trying to keep it under the building away from people just because it was getting to trash there. So it's one of those that it was neat to see, but it's like, yeah, do you want to photograph the one that's it's kind of getting habituated? So this picture, so it was um not visible when I first pulled up, and I thought I'm not gonna try to look after this. She's trying to keep it away from the people, keep it away from the trash. And as we were leaving, somebody shouts out, "There's the pine marten!" And it was running from our left, going to go across the road in front of us. Paused for a minute, sat up and looked at us. And I'm ripping my microphone off, and I'm going for my camera to try to get a couple pictures. Open the door and do a burst of them. And this is the sharpest one I got with the tree right in the way. But it was nice to see one. Everybody was excited to see the pine marten. And it sounds like this case, they ended up catching this one. And the plan is to release it somewhere in the park just to keep it away from areas where there's people and trash, and to prevent it from getting habituated. So it's to save the animal. It was actually a 2 weasel day, which was nice. And so I believe this is a long-tailed weasel. So you have long-tailed and short-tailed weasel, and the short-tailed weasel is called the ermine in the wintertime. So in this case, I believe it's a long-tailed weasel. And again, today I had a great group. I kind of feel bad that I'm having everybody that on these trips. I mentioned this last week, that these guys are just spotting things. And so I'm talking, and somebody says, "What is that in the ground?" I'm like, there's something in the hole. And I look over and I see this weasel. And so what I do is because it darts off and kind of goes behind us. And everybody saw it, I said, "Hold on," stuck it in reverse and started going backwards again. And got up to it. So it was outside the window for a little bit and got a few pictures of it. And these things are they're moving fast. And so it was nice to actually see it, have some good looks, have it look at us, get some pictures. This is kind of what you're looking for. I mean, it's white on white. And these guys are hard to see. And so you're just watching for movement. And their tail, they're going to have a black tail, black tip on the tail that usually sticks out. So it was pretty awesome to have a 2 weasel day today. And this is, oh, you know what? I'm not going to be able to come up with the name. As soon as I get off, I'll find out what the name is and I'll post it. But this is at Biscuit Basin, and drawing a blank on the name, but I like taking people out to this hot spring, and you can see why, the color. And so this one seems to always be pretty good on the colors, and it has the green and yellow. We see a lot of blues the places we walk around in the wintertime, and there's not a lot of greens like this. That I'm trying to think of different ones that have the green that you can really see well in the winter. And it's hard to find. So I like walking out to this one, and it's kind of off that main loop. You just take a little exit there like you're going out to Mystic Falls. And this one just kind of sits there off the main loop by itself. And that's great because, again, the colors, you see the green and yellows, we see a lot of blues. And I hate to admit it, this picture here is actually an iPhone photo. I did very well. I didn't have my camera out me when I walked out this time, and I snapped with my iPhone, and it turned out really nice. And so I share this one with you. And I believe that's the last one today. So there's an update for you coming from Yellowstone. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is Adam with Tied to Nature, and this is for those that don't get out, can't get out, or can never get enough.